Hey guys, this is Sun at 7, and thanks to Meridan, we're now meeting at 7 p.m., which honestly I can't say I'm that happy about because I'm a morning person. But anyway, I am happy about being here with her. So I'm Donna Fisher, the owner of FBH Wellness, and I miss you so much. It's been 3 quiet weeks in the studio, and we barely have any equipment left, and it's just us and some reformers and empty space, and we cannot wait to see you again. So tonight we're going to talk about how to build our immune system up with some diet tips, and Meridan's really going to help us get ready, get strong, and get our bodies back in the groove of things as soon as we're ready to get up and moving. Thank you guys for being with us, and I hope to see you really soon. All right, Meridan Zerners.
Take it away. Hey, well, for me, Sun at 7 p.m., 7 a.m., come on. I gotta go 7 p.m. I just wanted to share a few ideas and research and literal foods that fall underneath my scope of practice. And I know a lot of you know that I'm a registered and licensed dietitian and certainly passionate for wellness and well-being. I do feel like there's always some silver linings in these circumstances, and one of which may be that we've got some time to really look closely at, hey, how are we nourishing our bodies? And that can be mind, body, and spirit. And there's a lot of misinformation out there right now. And first and foremost, I want it to be clear that there is zero knowledge. There are zero studies to say, hey, if you do A, B, and C, that's going to help defend against this COVID virus. We don't have that information. Most of the information we do have that we can look at and maybe extract or apply some common sense thinking is going to be about some of the other viruses that we've experienced in our lives, and just a general understanding of, hey, how do we support your immune system? So just so we're clear, there is no study that's going to say, hey, if you eat, more clementines because they're higher in vitamin C, that you may get better from this virus faster. So as long as we're understanding that piece, then we can go forward. Know that the immune system is really complex. And so there are a lot of interactions with cells and organs and tissues. And so there's a lot that we don't know about the immune system. There's also a lot that we do know. So the World Health Organization, the Centers for Disease Control, they're going to tell you, hey, the steps that we need to take not only include healthy eating, but they're also going to officially include getting adequate sleep, exercising moderately, and maybe a few intentional inclusions that we'll talk about here in a second. So first and foremost, the adequate sleep. It's 7 to 8 hours. For many of us, hopefully more on the 8-hour side. I am thrilled that my kids right now are getting better sleep. If I wanted to give them a tool in terms of immune defense, it's the fact that they're actually getting adequate sleep. So please know that in this time of stress and chaos, if you're getting sleep, then you've done a phenomenal thing for your immune system. In terms of the exercise piece, so the key word is actually moderate exercise. So if you're trying to defend against a virus or really bolster your immune system, this is not the time to run 20 miles. It's not the time to do 3 hours of uphill sprints in your neighborhood. We want some moderate exercise. The extreme exercise actually taxes your immune system, and that's not what you want right now. So whether it's walking outdoors, and I know you know the drill with the social distancing as far as steering clear from folks, whatever you can do counts. And if it's only that you can do 10 focused minutes in your own home, going up and down some stairs, doing some light stretching. I know you know your fives, your Pilates fives, like those are amazing.
Woo,
Drop
woo!
down, woo woo, shout out. Those kinds of things will not only hang on to your muscle, right? They give you that sense of, hey, I still have some strength and some power and some control here, but that's the kind of moderate exercise we're talking about. So those things work together. Now, the dietary piece. Hoping that you will look at as much color as humanly possible. So I just did a huge webinar, and they were talking about physical resilience, and they're like, look, are you really getting in enough fruits and vegetables? Because that's going to be your first line of defense. And so thinking just very simply at your meals or snacks, where is your color? Where is your deep dark green? Where is your orange? Where is your red? Give me something, even if it's got to be just, again, that quick clementine. this little clementine, the oranges, the citrus, they happen to be high in vitamin C, and everybody wants to do vitamin C for your immune system. Mostly, foods that are higher in vitamin C decrease the duration of a cold or a health issue, right? The trick with vitamin C, though, is you would want to have it multiple times in the day. So a lot of these amazing foods that are going to give you vitamins and phytochemicals, they're in your system for a short period of time and then out of your system. They're water soluble. So to have this little clementine just once in your day is going to cover you for a certain amount of time. So then I would love to see you revisit that and have some, kiwi later on in the day. Maybe the next meal's got a big old salad that's got red bell pepper, which is also really high in vitamin C. So think about, can you get 3 to 4 vitamin C opportunities spread out during your day to get that 300 some odd milligram blood volume that you would get? Can you use supplements or gummies or the emergency powder? Sure. Nothing wrong with that. Is that going to be the key to your well-being? No. But if it's because you don't happen to like these foods and we want to get something in, check the box, I'll take it. And that's sort of been my mentality all along. The big deal with some of the other foods is not, it's about preventing deficiency. So for example, with vitamin A, vitamin E, and zinc, if you are deficient in those vitamins, then your immune system would be potentially compromised. And so we want to make sure that you're at least at adequate. So to take excess of A, E, and zinc would not necessarily help you, but to make sure you are not deficient. So your big dogs for vitamin A, really anything orange. So whether it's a sweet potato or carrots, things like that. For vitamin E, my favorite choice for you is going to be like nuts and seeds, where you've got like the sunflower seeds, the pumpkin seeds, cashews, almonds, those kind of things. A small serving every day as an intentional contribution to your immune system, I think would be amazing. There's one in particular in terms of a food that I'd like to point out, by the way. It's the blueberry, and I brought some. They have a type of flavonoid called an anthocyanin. And there's actually some really good research specifically on anthocyanins and flavonoids helping our immune system as it relates to respiratory distress. Now that is one area that this COVID virus is really attacking, right? We know it's going to be about the lungs and the breathing. So again, not a cure, we can't directly connect the dots here, but to have a daily serving of blueberries gives you the vitamin C, and oh, by the way, it's been studied specifically to help with the respiratory distress component in terms of your immune system. I mentioned zinc. Zinc can be found really in animal proteins, and so for my plant-based folks, I love that you're doing that, and if you are maybe intentionally decreasing some of those animal proteins, yes, but then I'm going to challenge you, how are you going to get your zinc? So zinc is going to be a big deal. Typically you'll find that like in a lean burger. You'll find that in a higher percentage in like a chicken thigh. So it's more about, hey, if you are vegan or vegetarian or you're really, really shifted to the plant-based, it's great for so many reasons. I just want to make sure you're getting in enough zinc. And so you can even do that quickie Google search for yourself. Hey, foods that are higher in zinc, and which ones can you include more? You'll find zinc in a lot of those little supplements and lozenges that have vitamin C, elderberry, and zinc, right? You can have a couple of those every day as a way to get that job done. And just, food for thought. It's probably my favorite cheesy phrase, right? Food for thought. Vitamin D is a big one. Now, if you are trying to get in enough vitamin D, yes, you can get it from the sun. It's a sunshine vitamin. It's actually a hormone. So I would challenge you, how are you getting your D? And if you don't do a lot of dairy, which is fine, are you doing fortified almond milk? Are you doing fortified soy milk? Certainly with some of the dairy, I may be able to get some calcium and D and whatnot. If those aren't foods or drinks that you typically take in, then you may want to supplement with D. The goal is in that 600 IU as a minimum, up to 1,000, maybe even 2,000 for some folks. That's actually what I'm doing with my family right now, giving them a little extra D. I'm holding up my yogurt, which does not typically have D in it, but it does have probiotics. And so probiotics is one other element to think about. And you can get it in your Greek yogurts, you can get it in your kombucha, you can get it in kefir. I suppose if you eat sauerkraut, you could get it there. I don't typically eat sauerkraut, but what we know is, and this is from the Biomed 2019 Research International Journal, that if we can get specifically lactobacillus and bifidobacteria that reduces inflammation, which improves our immune response. So a lot of these healthy bacteria, the probiotics, can be helpful overall for your immune system. Well, then you got to give them a lot of fiber because they eat and thrive on fiber, and now we're back to all these beautiful colors again in terms of adding color to most of your meals. A quick word on supplements. There are some phenomenal resources out there. I just want you to get credible sources. And so I'm going to have you go to consumerlab.com. They did a nice review on supplements as it related to immune system, and they have conversations about astragalus, lemon balm, elderberry. These things may have a benefit for you. They may also interact with medications. And if you were going to utilize them, you want to check them out first, right? You want to get a brand that's worthy. So you check in with your dietitian, you check in with your physician, and you can also go to some of these phenomenal credible sources. I've been getting some great information from Johns Hopkins site as it relates specifically to this virus. Really savvy, trustworthy information. Facts, not hype. One of the things that they talk about is, hey, stress, right? And that's not even related to food, but guess what? Stress affects everything. One meta-analysis of more than 300 studies, no shocker here, showed that stress for any significant duration, voila, here we are, several weeks to several years, absolutely leads to decreased immunity. So what are you in control of, right? And maybe it's just this breath. We talk about the deep breathing, moments of gratitude journaling, really focusing on what is an opportunity in terms of connecting with your loved ones. Some of the good stress-oriented sites that I might suggest, because this is a package deal for your well-being. I love Headspace for mindfulness and meditation. I love Calm as an app, and there was a new one that I have been looking at, Insight Timer, INSIGHT, like Insight Timer, TIMER, and that's a .com, free, and it has music, and it has things for kids and stress and anxiety. And I would encourage you to take a moment to really think about, hey, how am I managing this anxiety? How am I managing this change in life, this disconnect from literally being able to go up to a loved one and give them a hug? So that plays a role in your immune system, and we don't want to discount that. So everybody here at FBH Wellness is very much about you as a human being and wanting you to be your best self. So if this is just a little inspiration to be thinking about a little more color, to take that deep breath, to maybe spend 5 minutes on one of these sites that could kind of coach you through a resilience meditation or mindful activity, I would highly encourage you to do that. You know that your fearless leader, Donna Fisher's got your back as well, so don't hesitate to reach out. In the meantime, this was a new kind of Sun at 7. Take care of yourselves.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I think I shed a couple of tears over there. That was amazing. I need to go back and watch this a couple times to write down some notes. I think I was just watching Meridan talk and amazed at her wealth of information, and I didn't really hear anything. Wow. All right. Thank you, my friend. Air high five, 6 feet apart. All right, guys. Mwah. Have a great night.